Welcome to my hovercar origin series. This is a 1963 Chevrolet Corvette, otherwise known as the Jet Vet. It's a 1/25th scale kit by AMT. The first thing you're going to notice is this bright orange color contrasted with the white and the black. And the second thing you're going to notice is the fact that it's not rusted like my previous model. Not to worry, rusting cars, that's my jam. I'll be back to it in no time at all. Let's start by looking at the front of the car. We're looking at the front passenger side thruster here. The main component comes from a Gundam lower leg. I fabricated this intake from styrene sheet. And the exhaust from a 1/2-inch styrene tube. If you look here at these pieces, these were all made from styrene sheet as well. The original Gundam piece is this white fin, this silver trim, and the orange cover. So you can see I've added quite a few pieces on. And since I have this off the car, you can see that I've removed part of the lower fender and removed that panel from the door to create a little negative space for this thruster to fit, much like I did on my 51 Bel Air. This is in order for this thruster to fit in close and tight to the car. Carved this panel out, added some gussets to the top and bottom, and then recessed the front edge of the door, added a couple of mechanical pieces for detail. Here's some old photos. Here you can see the piece I removed and then how I recessed the cavity. And now we're going to show you how you put this back on. It just slides in there. And that red hydraulic looking cylinder sort of fits in that cavity. It's just a matter of getting it on right. You can take the rear one off as well. They're nearly identical. Same thing, it's held onto that styrene tube. And here's the only difference is the hoses. And those were put on because you can see them from the rear of the car. I removed the back lower quarter panel, some various Gundam pieces in there as well. Love the back end of this one. Very wild. Reminds me of a video game. These thrusters here would be some upward lift. These two would be your main thrusters, and the side ones, hey, why not just keep adding them, right? In fact, there's two on the outside. You see I put the bumper on. That's one detail that I think is very cool about this, is those two turbines fit between the bumpers. I made the taillights out of styrene tube, reminiscent of the old Corvette taillights. Man, I really love those old taillights. I added a tail fin with a mechanical bracket and a spring for cool factor. I added these vents to the rear because the turbines were so large and they took up so much space that I had to remove part of the body. The part that I removed from the body, it was almost a triangular shape. I used that to create the vent flaps, and they fit perfectly back into their spot. It's always really difficult to find out what to put under the hood. We don't use a typical V8 or V6 engine. You need to fill it with parts, and these parts need to have some sort of use on the car. I just try to fill it with random believable parts. 2 intakes of some kind, and there's a center intake. There's the red and the blue wire continues up throughout the car. Most of those parts in there are automobile parts and Gundam parts. So just fill it with believable parts. All right, we're removing the top. Check out that interior. All right, you have some flight control, flight yoke, bucket seats that should have been painted orange. And we also have a good view of the rear section. I love that rear section of this. That orange piece looks like an intake for the twin turbines in the back. Those twin turbines were made from styrene tube. There's some pipes, Gundam parts, and I continued that blue and red wire from the front to the rear for a little contrast. All right, got the body back on, and notice through the back window you can see that large intake. That's that intake we were looking at earlier for the twin turbines. Cool, that's a cool look. Here's the undercarriage. It's Gundam galore. So check out all these parts under here. There's 17 Gundam parts on the undercarriage alone. I love the detail of the 4 vents on the 4 thrusters. All right, let's talk about this ridiculous paint job. Quite a bit different from my other cars. The main reason I didn't go with the rusted look is pretty obvious. It's because the Corvette is fiberglass. So I had to try something different. I knew once that I cut this door panel out, when I was originally working on the car and it hadn't been painted yet, I cut this door panel out to make access for the front thruster. And the car gave the appearance of almost having a body kit. And I started thinking about, well, maybe it looks like a race car. Maybe put a sci-fi race livery on it. But unfortunately, I procrastinated. I should have bought the printer paper and given it a good try, figured out how to do it, but I kept putting it off. I looked online for decals that might work. Couldn't find anything that was sci-fi and related to automobiles. You know, if you put the modern age decals on it, you're looking at, well, does it, Brembo brakes? Well, it doesn't have brakes. Champion spark plug doesn't have spark plug. You get the idea. I couldn't really use any of the new sponsors and decals. So just gave up on it. So what I was thinking about when I was filming this video was this car maybe needs a refresher. Maybe I repaint it and add a few more items, make it into a Cybervet or something else. I don't know. I can't say that I hate the paint job, but it's not one of my favorites. And it's something I'd be willing to do over. So let me know in the comments if you think I should try to give it a new look, turn it in from the Jet Vet into the Cybervet. Maybe I could make it look as if it was slightly weathered, paint rubbed off and dirt and grime, or keep it fresh and clean. Let me know what you think. Well, that finishes it up with episode 10. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like and subscribe buttons. It will help the channel grow. And if you want to see the next video in the series, please click the link above. Thank you for watching.
Okay, let's go.